Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Welcome in, welcome in. I just got back from the beach. MZR, you're funny. I just got back from the beach, y'all. I've been beaching. Do I look darker? Do I look browner? I don't know if you guys can tell now. Do I look a little bit browner? Yo, welcome in for the night live. Again, I know I'm on late today, but again, I was at the beach. Thanks, Denzel. I appreciate that. Okay. You never saw me. All right. And see how it goes. All right, y'all. Well, thank you guys for coming in today. We are just getting this thing started. So, Corey, I think the answer was or is 7. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's 7 though. Y'all, thank you guys for coming in. We are just getting this thing started. I have been at the beach for a while, and I have had oh shoot, crap! I just realized I forgot something. That's okay. I can pull it up over here. I gotta bring up another account on my life. Keep my own butt out of trouble. Enough is yes, and I'm not going to lie and pretend like I don't have more right next to me, because I do. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, we're just getting this thing started. We're just been on for 4 whole minutes, so we're just getting this thing moving and going forward. Pretty soon, we're going to open up phone lines. We're going to open up everything for conversations and debate. And that is when the fun really starts. That is when we start to have a real good time once the phone lines open up. And then we get to have, then we get to see how this live is really going to go. All right. And you know what? I will say, I've been doing this for a long time. The phone lines add a whole new dimension to everything. I will say that much. But what I will say is, you never know what guest is going to call next. You never know. I could have the most calm, gentle, considerate person next, or I could have a literal person that just got released from Arkham Asylum. We have no idea. We have no idea who's coming up next. Even I don't know. Even I don't know who's coming up next. And I think that's what makes it the most fun. I have no idea who's going to come up next. I have no idea how they're going to act. I have no idea what we got going on. I have no clue. And that is what makes this live so much fun. That is truly what makes this live so much fun. Truly, truly, truly. And we don't know how I'm going to react. I don't even know yet. We'll see. We'll see how I react. I don't know. It's up in the air. But we're going to give it a couple more minutes, let both of the chats start to fill up a little bit before we get this thing going and open up these phone lines. I'm already seeing a couple callers that have already tried to call in, and I appreciate you. We'll be opening up the lines very, very soon. So if you guys would like to call in again, I will be opening that up very, very soon. I did just watch Dark Knight. I think that's what it is, because they're about to remove from Netflix. So I just watched that today. But yeah, I don't know if you know this, but they're letting people out of the asylums. They're letting them out. Mexico and all the countries south of us are Mexico, and they're letting their people out of the asylums. They're coming here. They're coming here. Gotham let all of their people out of Arkham Asylum to come to the United States. Joe Biden let all of Arkham Asylum in. He let them all in. I talked to the people from Arkham. They were crying. They were like, President Trump, you must save us. Big burly men. Big burly men. I haven't done a Trump impression in a while. That's fun. You and your daughter were extras in Dark Knight? That's really cool. It's actually really cool. All right, y'all. Like I said, we're about to open these phone lines in about a minute or two. We're just letting these chats fill up a little bit, both on TikTok and YouTube. I really appreciate that, and then we'll get this thing continued. Oh, am I being that loud, Kimmy? I'm sorry. This is actually truly my normal speaking voice. This is my normal speaking voice. I can't help it. I just speak this way. Melania and Biden. Oh my goodness. All right. Cool. Let's open up the phone lines. Let's see if anybody's ready to come up. Like I tell people all the time, like if you want to actually talk to me, my conversations do tend to go quite a long time. So if you do actually want to talk to me, I would advise calling on the phone line early, because once this thing gets going, once we get about 15, 20 minutes in, there are so many people trying to call in, and it just gets ridiculous. Okay. And then I get a bunch of comments in my chat saying, this person's afraid of me. They won't answer my phone calls. And it's like, you're just not fast enough. You're just not fast enough. Okay. But see, right now you don't have to be fast enough, because the phone lines are pretty much open. So you can just come on and hang out. But soon you're going to have to be faster than everybody else. And here's the crazy thing. And this is the real truth. Okay. And I don't know why this is. I really don't. Okay. I don't know why this is. But for some reason, the people with like the least amount of intelligence on what's going on tend to be the fastest. And I don't know why. They're very quick. They're like the fastest callers. And I truly don't know why. But hey, it is what it is. But hey, if you're on unofficial pickles rate, thanks Jason. If you're on TikTok and you want to talk to me, go ahead and hit that request to join button. It's on the bottom. If you're on YouTube and you want to talk to me and you disagree with the topic above, go ahead and call the number that's right above my head. And as long as you're the first one to do it, I will answer and we can have a conversation. Only if you disagree, again, with the topic that's above me. If you're on the YouTube side, if you guys could do me a favor and go ahead and hit that like button up on top, I'd really, really appreciate that. That'd mean a lot. Or down below, I guess, depending on which platform you're watching it on. For you guys on the TikTok side, let's go ahead and get this thing up to 25,000 likes. I really appreciate that also. And so as we get one going, we will continue to keep going. I do not live in my mom's basement, nor does my mom have a basement, because I grew up in California and basements aren't really that big of a thing. Also, we didn't have an attic. I grew up pretty poor. We didn't have a basement or an attic. Yeah. So we just didn't have either of them. So, I mean, I wish. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
35.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
No.
Oh, okay. Hey, sorry. I'm only looking for Trump supporters right now. I do appreciate you, though.
Okay.
Thank you. Like I said, y'all, if you did, I'm only looking for Trump supporters right now. If you disagree with the topic above, then please make that call in. If you don't, I'm sorry, I will have to drop you. Like I said, there are times when I do friendly times, but I do them usually about like once a month, maybe every 2 weeks. And I only usually do them for subscribers and members, to be completely honest with you. So, is this a new page for me? No, this is an old backup account that I've had for a very long time. For a very, very long time. So, hi, welcome to the live. How are you today? All right, goodbye. Have a wonderful day. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today? All right. 2 people in a row. You know, when you're on TikTok and you accidentally request, like I understand that because you're tapping and then you like accidentally request. I don't know how you accidentally like put out a whole phone number. That's weird to call it on like a whole phone number and then like not say anything. Ty Ship, if you don't believe that Trump is destroying America, there's the phone number. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
I'm fine, and yourself? How are you?
I'm doing great. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 58.
Awesome. So why do you support Trump?
Yo, I just want to say,
I'm sorry, that is not who I was just talking to. Can what is going on here? All right, that was confusing. Yeah, they accidentally dialed out a whole number. That's weird. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Holy shit, it's real. What's up, dude?
Holy shit, it is. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. So,
Hold on.
that's pretty. The questions. Go
Stand
ahead.
by. How old are you?
45.
Awesome. And did you vote for Trump?
I did.
All right, continue.
So I was scrolling through and I happened to see the little topic up there or whatever. It says Trump is destroying America. Call in if you disagree. So I disagree. So I called in.
All right, why do you disagree?
Why do I disagree? Well, I could ask you the same question. Why do you think that he is?
Yeah, because of his complete blatant disregard for the Constitution of the United States, for his complete and blatant disregard for things like due process, for human rights, for so many things. Not to mention the having having the lowest credit rating for the United States history, disassociating us from our allies. You pretty much name it. Why would you
allies?
actually?
Them people you're referring to are allies, or motherfuckers we've been carrying around for years and years and years. You know what I mean? Are they our allies? Or are they dead weight?
They're our allies.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that we should just can NATO all together and said, forget it. I think that would be putting ourselves in a disadvantageous situation in the event of some type of major military conflict, which it looks like, the United States, we can't, regardless of who's in office, keep our nose out of other people's business to begin with. So I feel like that's imminent regardless of who's in office. However, but since the question was about Trump, I think that he's doing great.
Hold on, but sir, you just specifically said that you don't think that we should can NATO, and Donald Trump has said many, many times that he wants us to leave NATO.
Well, just because I disagree with him on one topic in particular doesn't mean that I think he's destroying America.
All right, well, why don't you start with the topics you agree with, and let's start there then.
I definitely agree with the way he's going about the immigration.
Awesome. So you support the
immigration, the illegal, deporting the illegal immigrants.
Gotcha. He's also deporting American citizens. Do you agree with that?
Well, it all depends. What's the reason he's just sending them away for what?
I'm sorry, sir. Just to be clear, you're saying it depends on a certain circumstance on whether you're okay with him deporting American citizens?
No.
Okay, so you said you agree with his immigration policy. He is currently deporting American citizens. Do you need a reason why he's doing that?
I don't believe what you're saying. I haven't seen anything in the news or anywhere that says that he's deporting American citizens. If you're talking about that cat with the MS-13 tattoos, goddamn, he should have had that shit covered up or something.
Yeah,
I don't know
so
if
first
that's
of all,
what we're referring to.
No, first of all, that is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. First of all, that's who you're talking about. Second of all,
see, that's too many fucking names right there. Pick a name. Did you just say his name was?
You don't have three names, sir, because I do. I have a first and a middle and a last. I just said three names.
Well, what did you say his name was?
Kilmar Abrego Garcia. It's three names.
Okay, well, I misunderstood you the first time. It sounded
so
like
first
it was
of all,
three first names, and we hadn't even got to the last name yet.
Okay, well, that was his name, so that's three names. Okay, so that's not
All
abnormal.
right, so
Let's start
gone.
there. Second of all, he did not have MS-13 tattooed on him. That is a Photoshop and not reality. Okay?
Who photoshopped it?
I don't know,
Him?
but if you actually look at the picture, it's an Arial font. No one even tried to make it look like a real tattoo. It's literally an Arial font. You can tell that someone typed it out on a keyboard.
No, I don't know what an Arial font is.
Do you know what Times New Roman is?
Yes, you're talking about the writing style.
Yeah, it's what you type in Word Yeah, that's the same lettering that is on his fingers because it literally wasn't a tattoo. It literally was photoshopped on top of it. So, first of all, that was his name. Second of all, that tattoo that you're talking about doesn't exist. And third of all, even though he was deported illegally, that's not who I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, then who are you talking about?
Are you not concerned with the fact that he was deported illegally?
I don't give a fuck what they did with him.
So you don't care if someone's deported illegally in our country?
Look, dude, I don't know how to explain this to you. I think that there was justifiable reason to send him off more so than what it is that me and you are discussing right now, that either one of us have knowledge about, or he wouldn't be gone.
Do you think the Supreme Court has knowledge of it?
The way I understand it is, it's almost like you seem to believe that Trump would bring him back if it wasn't for the fact that you think it would make Trump look bad.
Yeah. So do you think that the Supreme Court knows the whole situation?
I'm sure that the Supreme Court knows what they've been allowed to know.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court called the deportation illegal. The majority conservative Supreme Court, with 3 different judges on there who were appointed by Trump, also called his deportation illegal.
Okay. And so why hasn't he come back yet? Because it seems like old boy in El Salvador said, too late. Tough shit. He ain't coming back.
Yeah, we are literally paying El Salvador to jail him. He hasn't come back because Trump doesn't
We'd be
want him
paying to fucking jail him here. So what difference does it make?
Why would we be paying it to jail him here? He hasn't committed a crime.
Not yet. I mean, we don't know that.
Yes, we do, because we have this thing in this country called due process. And in order for you to go to jail for something...
I'm very well aware of it. I've been in penitentiary 4 times. I know how it works.
Gotcha, sir. So you are aware that before you go to prison, you go to court and you're proven to have committed a crime, correct? Because that never happened to him.
If you decide to go to trial, yeah.
Yeah, but that never happened to him. He never was given his day in court, nor was he ever even arrested on a crime. He was just sent to a foreign prison illegally.
So what do you mean? So the guy was walking down the street in the middle of the daytime, and some people pulled up on him, was like, you know what, I think you look like a motherfucker that needs to go to El Salvador, and just swooped him up, held him somewhere, gassed up the plane, flew his ass there, and that's the end of it.
Yep.
Fuck, dude, I'm gonna start a goddamn one of these YouTuber channels. Fucking any idiot can just get on here. I'm gonna do me one.
Well, I'm sorry. Have you actually seen the qualifications that they needed to call someone part of MS-13?
Probably not very much.
Yeah.
Which is, as far as I'm concerned, okay.
Gotcha, sir.
I think to build the fucking border wall even taller.
Awesome, sir. Do you have tattoos?
They shouldn't have had no fucking all this shit that was going on with these people for like the last however many years when What's-His-Nuts was Biden was in office, and they were down there and they were trying to do this and that, and it was like it looked like the blind leading the blind. They should have put up a big giant digital clock. And
awesome,
then had
sir.
a public service announcement.
Do you have tattoos,
Let everybody
sir?
know when this clock strikes 0 and we can still see you, your ass is dead. Bye-bye, have a good night, be gone, go home. That's what they should have told them people. This ain't fucking bring all the freaks in the world to America Day.
Sir,
you know what I mean? I don't care where you're seeking asylum from. Seek it somewhere else.
It sounds like the freaks are already here, and you can stop crashing out whenever you
I
like.
know the freaks are here.
I know, I'm listening to one.
I'm talking to one too.
Okay. How old did you say you were, sir?
You know goddamn well how old I am, so I don't want to hear nothing out of your mouth about, well, you're not acting like you're 45.
You're 45? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like 75.
Same age I told you I was when you asked me at the beginning of this fucking
For some reason, I thought like
show.
75 or something.
No, 75? No. God, I hope I don't live that much longer.
You and me both.
Too many, I know. There's too many niggers, too many people like you around this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. So tell me how you really feel.
I just did.
Oh, okay. Got anything else, Trumpy?
No, not right this minute.
Oh, okay.
I don't guess.
Well, thank you for always proving my point, as always. As long as I talk to a Trump supporter for long enough, they either become a racist or a misogynist sooner or later. But anyways, we'll just go ahead and move on to the next guest. I really appreciate that. It doesn't take long. All you gotta do is talk to a Trump supporter for long enough. They will end up being racist or misogynist one way or another. Really not that difficult. But anywho, we're going to keep this thing going. So if you guys are on the TikTok side, let's get this thing up to 50,000 likes. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And if you're on the YouTube side, let's go. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you're here and you're enjoying the show, go up to the top and hit it. And if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do this every single day, so I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you'd like to support the live, if you're over on YouTube, I do have super chats, super stickers, all that sort of stuff, fun stuff. If you do a super chat or super sticker, I'll put you up on the screen like this. And it looks something like this guy who wanted to let me know, you're a fake bro, with your spelled incorrectly. So I'll put it up on the screen like that. If you super chat and we'll talk all about it, even if it's something I don't like, I really don't mind. That doesn't bother me. If you're not on the YouTube side, you like support, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So I really appreciate you guys also. Thank you guys so much. All right, phone lines are back open. So if you'd like to have a conversation, you'd like to call in, you're more than welcome. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Hi. Okay, so I'm just a little young, but I want to.
Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I want to say I support your channel. I've been looking at you for the past week or so. So it's a pleasure, refreshing to come on your channel and talk to you and have a mature conversation, unlike the ignorant person that was just on your stream.
Awesome. I appreciate that, sir. All right. Did you say you voted for Trump or no?
No, oh hell no.
Well, hey, I really appreciate it. I am
Hell
looking.
no. Never disrespect me like that.
I apologize, sir. I apologize, but I am going to move on. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day. All right, man. All right. Good for you. W's the chat for whoever that was. Hello. Welcome to the live. How are you today?
I'm doing all right.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
Oh, yes, I did.
And how old are you?
I am 25 years old.
Awesome. So why do you support Trump?
I don't like liberals. I don't like this transgender bullshit.
Okay.
Like, they're sitting there trying to say that men can be women and women can be men. I don't fuck with that shit.
Sounds like you're a little scared.
I'm pissed off. It pisses me right the fuck off.
That's okay. You know, being closeted is okay.
I ain't in no damn closet. You know,
dude, you're locked in the closet. Guess is in the closet. How do I get out of the closet?
You better watch it there, mister.
Right. You're boring me. You want to get on with the point?
Listen, I'm just saying, we need to get rid of these transgenders from our schools.
You don't even try to sound real. If you're gonna troll, at least be a little funnier. All right, phone lines are back open. Let's keep doing this thing. Really appreciate y'all. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 31.
I don't believe you. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Oh my gosh, I got through. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. I am a first-time caller, and I appreciate everything that you're doing, and your platform gives a voice to people that don't have a voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate that. I am going to move on to a new caller, but an opposition, so I can keep this thing going. But
no worries. I just wanted to say, as one of the people that is a low-income person that is on food stamps and Medicaid, that I am horrified for our country with the BBB, and I am saddened to know that there are people in our own country and in the global spectrum of the world that think that this is going to fix things, but it really isn't, and that our economy is really in a downfall, and we need to look at it like a 4-year-old with a gun.
Oh, please don't use the G word, but I understand. Yes.
I apologize. A 4-year-old with a weapon that they shouldn't have, that's going to harm them and harm others because they don't understand how it works.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Ooh. Hey, I'm going to hang up. There's a big echo. I love you. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. Sorry, there was a huge echo coming off. I appreciate it. I sorry, I do. You would think for someone who does that, I love hearing my own voice, but I cannot stand it. But W's in the chat for that last caller. I really appreciate her. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, welcome to the live. How are you today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
Awesome. What year were you born?
2006.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Do you still support him?
Yes, sir. That's my boy.
That's your boy?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Big
Sprinkles,
Don.
thank you
That's
so much.
my Don. Hell yeah.
All right. Why is he your boy?
Cause he's beating. He's beating. All the liberal bullshit that's coming out nowadays.
No, I do not
Get
know.
through
Would
it.
you like to, maybe try this in,
Yeah.
intelligent English?
He's getting rid of all the riffraff around here.
Nope. Sounds like you're still here.
Yeah. Wait a minute. That was an ad hominem. This dude doesn't know how to actually argue. He just knows how to put out ad hominems.
Sir, you do realize you're not even saying ad hominem correctly, right?
Oh, look at this fancy pants with a degree or something, bro. Think you know everything.
Actually, quite a few degrees.
Oh, look at you. Oh, you got that money, huh? Yeah, we out here.
No,
poor. That's why
I
we like
can
Trump.
speak English at,
We out here with
higher
no
than a
money.
fourth
That's why
grade
we like
level, though.
Because he's giving us an opportunity.
What's giving you the opportunity for it? To be stupid in public
make
and
money.
everyone's okay with it?
Look at all the jobs this motherfucker created.
You got money now?
Yeah, I got money since Trump's in office.
So you didn't have money before, so you've been...
Or maybe since I'm out of high school. That might be it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably it. All right. Well, I feel like I am literally getting dumber talking to you, so I'm going to move on to the next person, but I do not appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much. All right. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today? Hello, welcome to the live. How are you today? Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today? Nothing? All right. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today? What is going on here? Hello? Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
It's
insane.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Do you still support him?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Ryan, I'm going to put this, hold on. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the screen real quick. Hey, I was the 25-year-old hating on transgender. I want to say I was literally trolling and I am straight up trans. Thanks, XOXO. Ryan, I would like to let you know that when you come up and troll like that on people's lives and talk about that stuff like transgender people, you are literally hurting your own cause. Okay? Because while you think it's funny and you're trolling, the other people that are in this live, which again, between both of these is about 2,000 people, don't realize you're trolling and they think that it's now okay for people to go ahead and speak like that. Okay. So while I do appreciate the super chat, I really do. And I appreciate, your donation and all sorts of stuff. I just want to let you know that you're actually harming yourself and other people like you from doing things like that. And I think that that is a very sad thing to do. So I would really watch, like coming up in front of thousands of people and having that sort of rhetoric, because a lot of people don't know that you're joking and will take that seriously. And a lot of them are probably already gone. So I really appreciate that. Sorry, I needed to put that up on the chat real quick. I really needed to say that real quick because that does
It's fine. It's fine.
that does kind of I can say bother me, but it is not good. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All right, awesome. So why do you support Trump?
I like a lot of his stances on things and whatnot. You know.
Like what?
Well, I I like almost everything except for his stance on abortion.
Okay, well, you want to start with one thing you like, and we'll move from there.
Um, and I like this how the economy's looking right now.
You like what?
How the economy's looking right now.
You like how the economy is looking right now? Why would you like how the economy is looking right now? We freaking had a credit rating drop. We freaking have a stock market lows. We have the U.S. bond market going down. We have prices going up with expected inflation going even higher.
Oh.
Why would you be excited about that?
Well, I mean, I've seen prices go down personally.
I mean, congratulations.
So the economy's good right now for me.
No.
Okay.
What have you seen
Soap
prices
at
go
Walmart.
down on?
Soap at Walmart went down $1.
Soap at Walmart went down $1.
Yeah, for me.
Oh, maybe this has sale, bud.
Oh, I mean, it was in the clearance section, so maybe you never know.
Yeah, that sounds like it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Dude had a coupon. He thinks the economy is doing better.
It was not a coupon. I never even received a Walmart coupon before. Grow up. Well, another reason I really support Trump is his stance on the just wars in general.
His stance on wars.
Yep. I like how he's handling the wars and everything, you know.
He's what, the wars?
Handling them, you know.
He's handling it by escalating the war between Ukraine and Russia. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Repeat what you said. I was reading something.
Is that a first?
Or I'm probably smarter than you.
Yeah, you're doing a great job of proving that. Anyway, so we just had the largest escalation in the Ukraine-Russia war with the missiles and drones attacks since the war began 3 days ago. Yeah, so you like how he's handling that?
You gotta trust the process, or
I didn't ask you to, were we trusting the process? You said you like what he has done, like how he has handled it. What has he done to handle it well?
well, he's just more dominant than Biden ever was, and they're just scared to do something that would make him mad.
Yeah, literally like escalating the war to the highest missile and drone attacks since the war began.
No.
Yeah, that just happened. All right. Well, since this is
pull it up on your screen, sir.
I could, but honestly, I am not really sure you're worth talking to anymore because you're not making any type of logical
sir,
points.
Please, sir.
All right, sir. I don't think you're making any actual logical points. So I will just move on to somebody who can make a logical point. Seems a lot easier to me. This is a super chat from McLovin. Said, "Here's $2. Go buy yourself a Coke. We keeping Uncle Trump in office for the next 500 years. Yeehaw!" But yet sent more than $2. That's very strange. But thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Ryan said, "I was going to continue to make it seem like I was just a chaser and that's why I'm this way. You didn't let me cook though." No, because I don't let people speak that rhetoric. You're 100% right, Ryan. I don't. I would never let somebody talk about you like that. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Yo, I love what you're doing, man. I'm very proud of you for being one of the only people to stand up for everything.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
December.
Wrong. Nice try, though. All right, we'll keep these phone lines open. I'm getting better at that. Winglet Aviation said, example, merch at Disneyland went up from $19.99 to $24.99. I haven't been to Disneyland in a long time, but I really appreciate that. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm 25.
You sure about that?
I'm 28. Yeah, I'm very sure. Do you think I'm sure about that?
You just said 25 and 28. So which one are you?
Well, I'm 28, but it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to let you know I'm definitely not a minor or nothing like that.
Yeah, you're creeping me out. I don't like it. It's weird. Wizard Friendly said, no, crypto Trump every 4 years. All right. Well, sure. Sounds great. All right, we're gonna keep these phone lines open and keep this thing going. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, though. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Lee, thank you so much for the Venmo. Says appreciate your stream. Just wanted to say thank you.
I just want to say real quick.
Thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Said appreciate your stream. Just wanted to say that. Thank you so much, Lee. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today? Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
can you have
welcome.
a conversation with me, buddy, or are you just gonna hang up on me a couple times for your stupid show? Now I'm
I
pissed
think
off.
I'll hang up on you. All right. That was pretty simple. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Good.
Awesome. How old are you?
51.
You say
It's insane.
51? Is that what you said?
5'1".
You're 51. Awesome. What year were you born?
73. Anything.
Wow, you sound young for your age. I'll say that much.
What's that?
You sound young for your age.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Do you still support him?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, the reason I did vote for him is to get rid of the garbage that was in office. There wasn't really much going on. They were doing a lot of damage, and look at our justice system. Look at our everything else that was corrupt. That's all coming to light.
Like what?
Like all the things that was going on with Kamala Harris, with Biden, with his son.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Biden wasn't running for.
Hold on. You asked me for what? So I'm going to say you.
Yeah, you already answered, sir.
You speak about Trump and the things that he's doing, but you don't want to talk about the things that he's trying to fix. That was broken.
I would love to talk about the
office.
things that he's trying to fix, but that's not what you're saying, sir. You're saying something about Biden, and Biden wasn't running for president, okay? And you're talking about his son,
Biden
which
was
really, I
president.
truly thought that we'd be done talking about Hunter Biden because we never should have been talking about him to begin with, since he's never held a public
Biden was
office.
president.
And I was so happy when Biden dropped out of the race, because I was like, sweet, I never have to talk to a single person about Hunter Biden ever again. But yet y'all just keep talking about him. It's very strange.
And here's another point I want to try to make is that you guys talk about Trump and how he treats people and stuff. I sat here and listened to you probably for the past hour. You talking down to people.
Oh, you're a fan. Thank you.
That call.
I'm not the president of the United
line.
States.
It really doesn't matter.
No,
You
it does
can't,
matter.
sit there and talk
It
down.
does matter.
Why are you
It matters
interrupting?
like a lot.
Why are
Like
you
it matters so
Why
much.
are you interrupting?
Because
And
I'll do what I
can't
want.
sit here
You
and have
remember
a
how I
phone
just
line
told you
and
how I wasn't the president of the United States, sir?
you asked me if I
All right,
disagreed.
let's set a baseline here.
I
Okay,
disagree.
let's set a baseline here. Okay,
And I'm telling you why
No,
I disagree. You're the one that has this little thing that's going on.
sir,
called
I'm only
you.
going to shush you one more
You're not
time. If
gonna
you're not
sit here
quiet,
and
I'm
run
hanging
my
up on you.
And that's what you guys.
All right, cool. That was easy. I told you I would hang up on you if you didn't be quiet for a second. All I was going to tell you is that we're here for a conversation, not for you to grandstand. But since you wouldn't let me get 2 words out, I'll just move on to the next caller. It's not a big deal. I want to talk to you guys, okay? But I'm not here to sit and listen to you whine. I'm sorry. I'm just truly not. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
19.
Awesome. What year were you born?
2006.
Awesome. Stand by 1 second so I can thank some people real quick. And did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Deacon, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Deacon says Trump speeches boat, shark, battery, electrocution. Great. That's the same guy. That's the same kid. Are you the same guy?
No, sir.
Yeah, I don't believe you. Thank you so much, Deacon. I really, really appreciate that. That's actually really funny. And Abram, I'm sorry. I mispronounced your name. Abram, thank you so much for the 9 sticker. I really appreciate that. And Eagle, thank you. Did you mean him as president is destroying America or his administration? Is it a distinction without a difference? Well, Donald Trump does control his administration, I do believe, correct? So I do believe that would be together. I really appreciate. I would think so. That those two would match. So that's my personal opinion, but yeah. And Chuck says he couldn't let you create a baseline of reality because facts are antithetical to conservatism. They do tend to have somewhat of a little bit of a problem when it comes to like facts and baselining. I don't really know why that is, but it is very true. But thank you so much, Chuck. You were 100% right. W's in the chat for Chuck. I appreciate that. Eagle, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Eagle says, quick question. Do you mean him as his president destroying or his administration? Is there a distinction between the difference? Didn't I just read this? I think that's where I just read that exact thing. I'm not sure. I think I just read that exact thing. But again, Eagle, I do not make a distinction between Donald Trump and the people that Donald Trump handles to do things. That is one administration. But thank you so much, Eagle. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today? Thank you so much.
I'm good.
Awesome. How old are you?
18.
Dude, you go play with Legos. What are you guys doing? Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
How's it going?
Hi, how old are you?
18.
19, you said?
18 years old.
What year were you born?
2006, September.
All right. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Got
Do you still
the
support
cutoff
him?
by 2 weeks. What's up? Oh, of course.
All right. Why is that?
Well, that's really not what your prompt is calling about. I'm calling about your prompt. Is that okay, or do you want to focus on why I still support?
I mean, I think the prompt and my question work completely together with each other. But why? Do you have something specific to ask?
Well, no, your prompt is Trump's destroying America, and then you're asking why I support him. Those are two.
Yeah, why would you support
Those are
someone
quite
that's
different.
destroying America? I think those go very easily with each other.
Well, I don't believe he's destroying America.
Okay.
So, I mean, why do you believe Trump's destroying America? Because what I see around, I live my daily life. There's no difference. No one has any difference. The country we still live in is very similar. So I don't really see any reason to believe Trump's destroyed America.
Do you believe that just because your anecdotal experiences, nothing has changed, that it hasn't changed for millions of Americans?
Well, I could see it could be changing. Definitely with benefits might be going down for some people, who don't work as hard as others. But I believe the
benefits like being able to be allowed in the United States without being deported as an American citizen. I mean, benefits like that. Benefits like
citizen.
Benefits like due process, like actually requiring a trial or evidence to be provided in order in America before you're sent to prison. Benefits like that.
So you think like illegal immigrants should still receive due process? Like just personal opinion, not based off the Constitution.
Yeah, no, I only am going to base it off the Constitution because the Constitution says it does, and the Supreme Court has reaffirmed that 5 different times.
So we should be wasting taxpayer dollars on giving illegal immigrants due process and slowing down the country and its
before we send them to prison. Yes.
So you believe that's why Trump's destroying America, because he doesn't want to go through full due process.
Before sending people to prison? Yes. If you're just talking about deporting somebody who's not supposed to be here or is an unknown person who's not supposed to be here, then I really don't have too much to say about it, to be completely honest with you. If somebody crosses the border, we see them cross the border, we remove them back to their home country, I don't really have too much of a problem with that. But you do get due process before being sent to prison.
Well, not prisons in the U.S., they're being extradited to foreign prisons.
That's worse.
And placed in detention and then extradited to foreign prisons.
Gotcha. That's worse.
In
Thank
foreign
you.
countries. So how was that destroying America? That is
because it's anti-constitutional. Let me ask you a question. When the president raises his hand and takes his oath as he steps in the presidency, what does he swear an oath to?
Swears an oath to the Constitution under God.
Swears an oath to protect and defend the Constitution. Correct. So therefore, he is beholden to the Constitution of the United States. Okay? So if the Constitution says that people in this country, regardless of whether they're U.S. citizens, get due process. Donald Trump doesn't get to make up something different because that's what the Constitution says. Okay? If the Constitution says that United States citizens can't be deported, then that's what the Constitution says. So Donald Trump doesn't get to make up something different, okay? Because the Constitution is what is the fabric of America,
what he wants to
not
do and what
the
he's doing
president.
is different. I mean,
No,
he
he's
might want to go against due process, but there's definitely still due process in this country. Even I don't agree. I don't agree that illegal immigrants should get due process, but under the Constitution,
The Supreme Court literally said that Donald Trump's deportation of multiple people has been illegal and was not given was against the Constitution due to due process laws.
So if it's illegal, then why is he not impeached, or why are there no charges?
Because the
brought against
Republicans
him?
would have to impeach their own president, and they're not going to do that.
So you're just saying that every Republican is just so brainwashed and loyal to their party that they would never go against the president who's in their own party. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all. There's tons of people, there are tons of Republicans that go against their own party. Unfortunately for that, when you're in Congress and a leader of the Republican Party is Donald Trump, and Donald Trump comes out openly along with Elon Musk and specifically threatens those Republicans, okay, openly, not like hides it, threatens those Republicans and said, I will make sure that if you do anything against me or you vote against me, okay, that we will make sure that you get no money for re-election, that we run somebody else against you, and that we put every single dollar in there to make sure that you never hold office again in the Republican Party. So when the leader of the Republican Party threatens all of those Republicans, and then those Republicans fall in line, then yeah.
So you just think that Elon Musk and Trump just have an entire cuckold on the entirety of the Republican Party?
I mean, they said it, not me.
An entire hold. So you're saying there's no reason at all that any Republican would support him if there were no quote unquote threats that you're saying?
Oh, some of them would, but not enough
So
to pass anything.
So why is that not happening? I mean, that makes no sense.
I just told you why. I literally just told you why.
If what you're saying is true, there's no reason that there would be a fraction of the Republican Party that would separate and form their own party with the same values, but against Trump and Elon Musk, because they're being forced out of office.
Yeah, you mean they would start their own party with no money, no support, and no chance of election?
You can easily raise money. I mean, I don't understand.
You've
why
obviously never ran for or looked into how a campaign is run.
System. If it's so widespread as what you're saying, there would be people who would clearly support this fraction of the party because, they're Trump and Elon, as you're saying.
You obviously have zero idea what it takes to run a campaign or the finances or the infrastructure it takes to run one. If you think that people can just start their own party and then run and then just make some money and just run against it.
You could easily start your own party if you want to. If you have a strong support of your beliefs.
Sir.
We should both start our own. You should start your own party. I guarantee you can garner some support. You got donations already coming.
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously don't know what you're talking about, so you can just stop now.
But you can clearly start your own party. There's nothing that's...
Sir, you can keep repeating it all you want, but you should move on because, again, you don't know what you're talking about, obviously.
Okay, so can't start your own party? So I don't understand what you're so held up on. You can't... you don't believe you need millions of dollars or something to start your own party?
Is this a joke?
Is what a joke?
This conversation.
What conversation?
Exactly. That's the first correct that you said.
Sorry? Hello?
Hello?
You still there?
Are you?
I'm still here, yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm still here.
Dude, you can't just break off from the Republican Party, start your own party, just all of a sudden get hundreds of freaking millions of dollars in order to run your campaign against an established Republican campaign that already has hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions.
Dude, I think you could start your own campaign.
Well, then you should go start one, but until then, while we're still living on this planet in this reality, can we move on to the next topic? Because you obviously know nothing about this.
Okay. We can move on to the next topic. I still think you could start your own party, though.
Okay, cool. I'm sure you also think that if you jumped off the roof, you would probably fly instead of hit the ground. But you can think that all you want. It's just not reality.
Well, I mean, it's possible. Oh, maybe glide, not fly, though. What's the next topic?
You're right. This debate
Is it
does
jumping
suck.
off
Can
the
you get to
building?
an actual point? Because you're boring the hell out of me.
You said next topic. What's the next topic?
You tell me.
I called you. Said call you.
And you didn't come up here with a topic? Well, that was dumb. All right, we're going to reopen up the phone lines. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Chuck, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said veterans are having their benefits cut. We didn't work hard enough for draft dodger Trump. I've sworn these oaths to serve and become a citizen. Oaths of Trump breaks daily alongside with due process. 100%. And Chuck, thank you so much for your service. And big W's in the chat for Chuck. I really appreciate that. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
I'm sorry?
So welcome to the live. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Rico, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker over there. I really appreciate that. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Awesome. Do you still support him?
I'm not sure. I don't really support too much.
Okay. Wednesday. Cup, thank you so much for overseas. I wonder where overseas. Where you at overseas, Cup? I will accept international calls. I don't know how much it's going to charge you. But yes, I will do them. It doesn't bother me at all. But thank you so much for overseas. I'd love to see where you're at. And Rami said Barack Obama deported 3 million. Yes, he absolutely did. It'd be really, really great if Donald Trump would take some of that and deport only undocumented immigrants instead of American citizens. I think that would work out really, really well for him, and then nobody would say anything. All right, y'all. Hey, if you guys are on the TikTok side, let's get this up to 75,000 likes. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And if you guys are on the YouTube side, make sure you guys hit that like button. I really appreciate it. And that subscribe button. We do this every single day. Sorry, caller. I have one more message to get through, and I will get right to you. Tara, thank you so much for the huge $50 Venmo. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you. Said thank you for your service and also for what you're doing here. Your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. We appreciate you, friend. Tara, thank you so much. Huge W's in the chat for Tara. I really, really appreciate that. And thank you so much. That really does mean the world to me. That's absolutely beautiful. And thank you so much for that very, very sweet statement about the live and with me. I really appreciate that. You are absolutely awesome. All right, awesome. So sorry, you said you don't support much?
Correct.
All right,
I was calling more so because I think sometimes there's a lot of problems inside of the White House, and I think conversations like this, I think, pit Democrats and Republicans against each other. Where going back to the Constitution, if we really have a problem with what's happening, we really should try to work together to solve the problems instead of tearing each other apart and creating the two sides that divide the U.S.
Okay. I'm sorry. I truly don't see what your point is here. You're saying I voted for Trump. Is that what you said, or just said you don't support anyone?
I did vote for Trump, but
Right.
I don't fully agree.
So you
with
voted for
everything
Trump,
that
the
he's
person
doing
who goes out of his way to be divisive, the person that goes out of his way to attack people on the left, the person that goes out of his way to attack people like transgender people, that goes out of his way to attack people like immigrants, to attack people, all this sort of stuff. And so you vote for somebody like that, and then right after that you go, we should all come together to fix the country.
Well, so when the options were what they were,
no, whatever
Trump
the
seemed like
options
the
were,
better
sir,
option at the time.
whatever the options were, you chose the most divisive option. And now you're the one saying we should all come together and be less divisive. Well, sir, I'm sorry. The reason that we're not coming together and being more together and we're being more divisive was because of your vote. Okay? Your vote was what caused us to be more divisive than we ever were. Okay, so maybe next time, if you actually want us to be less divisive, then maybe you should think about the way that you vote next time instead of just putting something down on a paper.
Do you mind if I ask you an open question?
Yes.
Why is it that you call to talk about opinions, but the first thing that you do is attack the caller?
I didn't call to ask about opinions. I said, Trump is destroying America. Join if you disagree. You didn't bring up anything on the topic whatsoever. You brought up, let's all kumbaya and get together and all sort of stuff. And I think that your friggin' stance is bullshit. Okay? You don't give me anything to actually debate with you on or actually talk to you about or actually have a decent conversation on. You're just like, let's kumbaya around the fireplace. Okay? You made a decision.
Well, I think the people.
You made a decision to make a vote for a person. That person is the most divisive president in American history. Okay? So why don't you just stand 10 toes down, okay, and just defend the divisiveness that you voted for, instead of being up here being like, oh, well, now that I made this super divisive vote, let's all get along.
I don't regret my choices for what I voted for. I think that certain things that he stood for, I can still support, but
Like
I don't
what?
agree with all of the other side of it. I think if long-term economy impact works out, I think that it could be good bringing more to here, but I do fully agree that he is trashing the economy right now for the people, especially middle and lower class people. The inflation is going to really hurt people.
I completely agree, except for the fact that he's not trying to bring manufacturing jobs back. But you're right. He is trashing the economy, especially for middle and lower class people, right? And do you think that that is a divisive thing? Do you think for the majority of people, okay, for people that are, again, suffering in this economy due to being, especially the lowest class among us, right? The people below the poverty line, but also for the middle class, okay? For, the $880 billion that he's trying to rip out of Medicaid, right? For the billions of dollars he's trying to rip out of SNAP, for the billions of dollars he's trying to rip out of veterans benefits, do you think that I should just be like, oh, well, I think that we should just all come together and be happy about this? Or do you think I should fight against that and say, hey, we need to protect the people that are the most vulnerable in our societies and go against what Donald Trump says?
No, I agree with that, but I suppose my point is, instead of attacking the people that are misinformed about these things, we should be trying to promote the information, go against the misinformation, and we should come together to get rid of that. Because I did vote for it, but I don't agree with everything that's happening now. But I think part of the problem is Democrats and Republicans are so stuck on a single name instead of the actual fundamental
I'm not
problem.
a Democrat.
I'm not saying you are.
I'm not a Republican
Democrats
either.
and Republicans on both sides, people are so stuck on the names and they start to attack each other. Like many of the callers who have called you, as soon as you say something against Trump, they get their panties in a wad because you're talking bad against Trump when they're not willing to hear your side and they don't really come with anything. So it creates this divisiveness, not necessarily you, but for them, where now they're more mad because someone talked about Trump instead of trying to actually correct the misinformation. Because you're right. I don't think anyone can really argue that it's a good thing to take money away from the systems that are supposed to support the people that cannot support themselves.
Well, see, sir, you say that most people don't think that, but a lot of people do. That's the thing.
A lot of people who have called in don't seem like they do.
No, I'm saying a lot of people want to take those benefits away from those people, right? Because they've been convinced that those people that are again the most vulnerable amongst us, right, are just stealing from the system. They're taking something away from them. They're bleeding the system dry, right? They're convinced that even when the people that I'm talking to are the people that are losing those benefits, which is the saddest part, right? Like and like you said, like, dude, I completely agree. I think that we should be in a stance where we say we protect the most vulnerable amongst us, period. Right? Whether that's, again, people on disabilities, especially our disabled vets, where we're talking about, people, that are migrants in this country, right? That are especially, the ones that are here, legally or, on like a temporary legal status, that are coming from, distraught, places and trying to, work and make lives for their families, right? The people that are, maybe like, transgender people and stuff like that are, living a life that may be a little more contrary to the normality of society that we live in the United States. I 100% agree. Okay. But that's why I do this, right? Is because I care about those people, right? Because the people that maybe you sound like a very intelligent person, right? And I'm not trying to say you're not, okay? You do. All right. Not everybody is thinking that clearly about the situations as they are. And I think that the only way that we find a way to our next step is by having these conversations, no matter which person I'm talking to or about which topic or anything like that, or regardless of whether you agree with what my feeling about it or not, whether you agree with their feeling or not, whether you think that they're completely off the rails or you think I am. Okay? We're still having the conversations, and these conversations need to happen, because if these conversations don't happen, then what happens in the news media and what we're being taught and what we're being told is happening consistently from places like CNN and Fox News becomes reality, and I don't want that.
Oh, it's absolutely terrible. They all have the same agenda. And it's not to provide the true information, it's to provide misinformation. And you get people that don't fact check things and they don't look into it for themselves. They don't form their own opinion. And we do get all of those people who are going to be hurt by the changes that are happening. And they're sitting there fighting the same thing, saying people are taking advantage of it. They don't even realize what is hidden in some of the bills that are being pushed out, some of the hidden agendas that are on top of these things that have a big fancy title and everyone gets behind the title, and they don't realize the small details that are also coming along with it. And it's sad. People should know these things before they're making these choices.
I completely agree. But hey, sir, I really do appreciate the conversation. Like I said, you do sound like a very smart person, and I don't mean to, be rude to you at all. I didn't like your little kumbaya thing at the first part, which is the part I was attacking. But I do understand your points, and I think that you make some very good ones. But I am going to move on to the next caller just so we can keep the live going. But I do really appreciate you coming up. All right.
Absolutely. Thank
all right.
you.
Can we get W's to chat for this caller? I really appreciate that. That was a little fun part of the live. That was a little different. So that was pretty cool. Also, whoever said Chargers in last place, you can be removed from my live immediately. Whoever said that can be moved from my live immediately. All right. Welcome to the live. How are you today?
Oh, bro, I gotta say.
You need to go to sleep. It's time for pre-K tomorrow. Welcome to the live. How are you today?
Hello.
Hi. How are you today?
Good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I did not.
Okay. Hey, sorry. I'm only looking for Trump supporters right now, but I do appreciate you. All right. Hello. Welcome to the live. How are you today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Did you vote for Trump?
Sure did.
Awesome. How old are you?
48. I'll be 49 in November. I was born in 1976.
Wow. Congratulations. You're almost at the big 5-0.
Almost.
All right. Can I get you to hold for just 1 second, brother?
Sure.
Awesome. Rico, thank you so much for the $5. I don't know what this is. It's like a sticker or or something like that. I'm not really sure it is, but Rico, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Eagle Hair, thank you so much. Said, what aspects of America is President Trump destroying, and can America be repaired? I would say the entire constitutional crisis that we're going to right now is probably the biggest threat to America right now. And can it be repaired? It can be stopped. Once it happens, I'm not sure if it can be repaired, but it can be stopped. And I think the biggest stop with that it should be Congress, but they refuse to do anything. That's why midterms are going to be so important. And the Supreme Court needs to just pull their whole heads out of their whole asses. That would be really, really great at any point in time. But thank you so much. Astro Boy says, can you leave me 5 achievements of Kamala Harris? Sure, I can. Not a problem. So I think that her, working in the Northern Triangle to the decrease immigration was probably the biggest, the biggest factor towards immigration as far as, asylum seeking in this country. I think her tie-breaking vote as far as the infrastructure bill, which is the largest infrastructure bill ever in America. I think that the work that she did with returning, stopping criminals from going back to prison and in California was absolutely huge. She did major pieces of legislation when it came to prison reform. Also, when she was a senator, I would go ahead and say that's 4. Number 5. Let me think. Number 5 might be a little difficult for me right off the top of my head because I wasn't ready to do that. I'll get back to number 5 in a second. Sorry, I'm blanking right now, but I'm sure I have it on top of my head real quick. I'm just blanking on it right now. Oh, can I say number 5 is yeah, no, she had the most tie-breaking votes. I was speaking specifically about the infrastructure bill, but I know she had a whole bunch. She was not the tie-breaking vote in the Chips and Sciences Act, but I know she did work very closely with Biden on the Chips and Sciences Act. All right, guess. So why do you support Trump?
Well, hey, quickly, I know we're going to stick about Trump, but don't forget Kamala keeping people in prison longer than their sentences so they can get cheap labor out of them. That was great. Now,
Yeah, if that was
moving on to
true, that would
President
have been
Trump.
absolutely horrible, but it has been debunked multiple times.
I know we didn't have multiple people doing videos on YouTube showing their story.
Not
about how
videos
happened
on
to them.
YouTube.
Yeah. Oh well. So I
Yeah.
guess everything you're saying.
Oh
must
my
be
goodness.
discredited then, right?
Did you know this also? Did you know this? The other day I was on YouTube and somebody gave a very, very convincing video that that Sasquatch exists. And I was like, wow, man, that was like really,
believe
really
it?
impressive. Yeah.
Did you believe it? Because you do believe
Yeah.
all of this.
Well, apparently you believe everything that you
like
see on
destroying
YouTube.
the country.
But that's okay. While you're doing that, I'll go ahead and put an article up on the screen to show that you don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, you would like to continue?
Oh, I would love to continue if I can get a word in edgewise, because I see what you do to your folks here. Once they have a
All right. He's already whining too much, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next caller. I really don't have time for that. All right. Welcome to the live. How are you today?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we were disconnected, sir.
Nope. Now we are, though. Hi. Welcome to the live. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 44.
Karen, thank you so much for saying my forum is awesome. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Awesome. So why do you support Trump? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just get annoyed. If you sound like you're whining too much, I'll just move on. Like I get bored easy. Yeah. Oh, y'all think I'm playing over here? Is that what it is? All right, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Hey, good man. You?
I'm doing good. Did you vote for Trump? Oh, you're gone. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
How's it feel to be in a party that's been so obliterated by Trump? I mean, you're dead and buried and never coming back.
What party is that, sir?
Everybody hates you. The Diddycrat Party.
I'm not a Democrat, sir.
Oh, okay. You just spew their talking points all day. Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Their men's room tampons?
Well, I'm sorry, sir. If you believe that the truth is a Democratic talking point, then maybe you should, rethink how you do things.
You couldn't tell the truth if you had a gun to your foot. You couldn't tell the truth if someone paid you. You're a propaganda agent. Every day you go right with whatever.
Oh, so you watch me every single day? You're a fan. Thank you. Guys, we got a fan. Can we put in it? He's a fan. He's a fan. He's a fan. Guys, he's watching me every single day. Every single day.
Yeah,
he's probably
fun.
one of my biggest fans. I really appreciate that.
Nothing
That's very
funnier
awesome.
than watching a retard talk.
Oh, man. You listening to yourself every day must be really rough then, huh? All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. He's a fan. He's a fan. He's a fan. There you go. I used to play that for you YouTubers. I used to play that song and YouTube won't let me. They get mad at me. They get mad at me. Hey, welcome to the live. How are you today?
What?
Oh, you're a child. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Hello?
Oh, it's ringing. What is going on?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's still ringing. Why is it ringing? What is going on here? All right, hold on. I have to reset my phone over here because it's ringing and there's no one there. Oh my goodness, that was really, really annoying. Sorry, I have to reset my whole phone thing over here. Y'all, if you guys are over there on YouTube, it would really, really mean a lot to me for you guys to hit that like button and help me keep pushing out the live. I really appreciate it. Also, hit that subscribe button. That would also mean a lot to me. I really appreciate that also. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you today?
Hey, how you doing?
Awesome. Can you do me a favor and turn off whatever is playing my voice in the background? That is very annoying to me.
Sorry, I had to turn you down.
No problem. No problem. Ragnar says, oh my God, total TDS, constitutional crisis, my ass. Lies left and right, deporting American citizens. No, he hasn't. And you get rid of anybody who calls you out. Well, thanks, Ragnar. I appreciate your complete lack of understanding of anything. You should Google him with deporting American citizens. It's not hard to find.
Welcome.
Oh, you're Ragnar?
Yep.
Awesome. You're an idiot, and you can literally Google him deporting U.S. citizens whenever you like.
Well, I mean, I kind of find it very hard to believe that somebody can deport a citizen when they can simply go, hey, look, here's my passport, or hey, look, here's my social security card, or hey, look, here's, all these other documents that I have.
Yet
It goes
he
to the
still did
entire-
it to children.
the children. So you're not talking about like actual adult.
Oh,
You're talking about,
gotcha. My bad. You only care about deporting American citizens if they're adults. Oh, shit.
But then you want to talk about,
I forgot that part of the
let me guess.
Constitution.
If he decides that he wants
I
to,
forgot that part of the Constitution. I totally forgot that part of the Constitution where it's like, you can't deport American citizens unless they're children. Oh, man, I missed that part of the Constitution. My bad.
Deported the parents, you would have bitched that he was separating families.
Except for the literal first one he deported, his father was an American citizen. So he wouldn't have had to separate any families.
Okay, where was his father? Let me guess, in jail
In the
or
United
something of that
States
nature?
and trying to take custody of him. And literally, ICE
so
said
he
they
didn't
were
have custody.
No, trying to take custody of him from ICE.
No, so you're saying the father was an
The
American
father
citizen and
who had custody of the child watched his daughter get detained by ICE and tried to take his daughter from ICE, and ICE said if he took his daughter, they would arrest him.
Okay. Do you have the name of that person so I can Google that real quick?
Yeah, I can pull it up if you really need it. It'll take me a second, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
That's fine.
Yeah, by the way, just so you're aware, first of all, yes, I did vote for Trump. Okay.
Really?
Second of all, yes. And yeah, I know. Second of all, I'm not a Republican.
Didn't accuse you of being one.
No, I'm just letting you know. I'm not a Republican.
Okay.
I'm actually a libertarian. But
That's
I did
somehow
vote for
worse.
Trump. Of course. I voted for Trump because out of the two, and believe me, our candidate for, and it hurts to say, but our candidate for president was actually worse than Kamala.
Trump?
No, our candidate, libertarian candidate.
Oh.
Chase Oliver.
Yeah, you're right. He was worse than Kamala. I don't know if he was worse than Trump, but he's still pretty bad.
Oh no, trust me, he was. I'm not even gonna. Trust me, with everything that guy was. No, like I said, I hate to say it.
That's
as
the
a
one thing we'll
libertarian,
agree on. Chase Oliver's an idiot. That's fine. We can agree on that all day.
Yeah.
So that
personally,
we're not going to have
I
any.
preferred,
We're not going to have any argument there.
Personally, I would have preferred Dave Smith, but that unfortunately did not come to pass.
I don't know who Dave Smith is, but is he a Mormon?
No, he's a Jew.
Oh okay.
Dave
Smith. Who's that Mormon dude?
Something
I don't
know, but Dave Smith
is it something
was on
Smith?
Joe Rogan. Dave Smith on Joe Rogan had that big thing with Douglas Murray.
Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith.
Oh,
yeah, John Smith. He's the Mormon prophet dude. Okay, cool. Sorry, I don't know why that just popped into my.
That was Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith. Yeah, Joseph Smith. One of those J's. Doesn't matter.
But
so,
no,
anyways,
Dave Smith. What I'm saying is Dave Smith and Douglas Murray just had this big, huge debate on Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see that?
No, I don't. I don't watch Rogan.
It doesn't matter about Rogan. I mean, honestly, especially when when it's Rogan and two other people.
Dude, if someone said Dave Smith was freaking on Rogan, that would be like the most meaningless thing that I think I ever heard.
Well, I would suggest if you're interested in in broadening your viewpoints, or at least seeing what I would say, especially when it comes to, like, for example, the Israel-Gaza war, things of that nature, I would definitely say it'd be worth your time to watch the debate between Douglas Murray and Dave Smith on the Joe Rogan show.
Well, that might be a very interesting thing, sir, to be completely honest with you. I am barely keeping up with working a full-time job, being a really great dad, and also keeping up with all the shit Trump's trying to pull. So I really don't have much spare time. And, also having a girlfriend who I'm trying to get not to leave me for doing all of the rest of those things. So while I do really appreciate it, I don't really have the time of my day to be squeaking in any libertarian debates.
Well, no, it wasn't really a libertarian debate. It was more just a debate between two very well regarded. I mean, you know who Douglas Murray is, right?
I've heard the name, I believe.
Okay. And Dave Smith. I mean, I'm surprised you don't know who Dave Smith is. He's gotten into Twitter battles with, very high profile individuals.
Hey, dude,
he was.
This all sounds great. Why did you vote for Trump, though, man?
Why did I vote for Trump? Like I said, because out of the three, because I'm not going to be dealing with Jill Stein or whatever, out of the three, my libertarian candidate, the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate, I found Trump to be the best option fiscally and also culturally.
Awesome. So can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Awesome. So how is the president that literally added more debt to the national debt than any other president ever in history, who added a third of the national debt ever in American history by the end of his first term, and already wants to increase the debt ceiling by over $4 trillion, fiscally the correct answer for you?
Because, like I said, out of the options, it was the best. Because if Kamala was elected, we knew that it was basically going to be, Obama 4.0, or no, Obama 3.0, because Biden was Obama 2.0. Biden increased the debt far more than Trump did.
No, he did not.
And also, yes, he did, actually.
No, he did not. That is a factual inaccuracy. Joe Biden, when he had left office, I think it was like just over 5 trillion, and Donald Trump was over 8 trillion.
No, I believe Trump was 4 and Biden was 7.
No, Donald Trump was 8.3. He added more debt than any other president in American history. Donald Trump holds the record. It's his. It's in his hand. He can hold it. Okay? $8.3 trillion. I can pull it up. We can do this right now. It's not a big deal.
Hold on. Like 7.8 trillion. Okay. Now, this is according to Google. During President's Trump's full term, 2017 to 2021, the national debt increased by approximately 7.8 trillion. According to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. From January 2021 to January 2025, the national debt under President Biden increased by over 8.4 trillion.
What are you talking about? I literally have the Committee for Responsible Budget up on my screen right now, and that's not what it says. I can literally put it on the screen for literally everyone here. President Trump approved $8.4 trillion of new 10-year borrowing during his full term in office, or $4.8 trillion excluding the CARES Act and other COVID relief. President Biden, in his first 3 years and 5 months in office, approved $4.3 trillion of new 10-year borrowing, or $2.2 trillion excluding the American Rescue Plan.
See, what did you just say? Listen to what you just said right there.
I know exactly what I said. What about it?
How many months?
In the first 3 years and 5 months.
3 years and 5 months. This, like I said, what I'm seeing here, it says from January 2021 to January 2025.
Gotcha. So you think Joe Biden in 7 months added double the amount that he did in 3 years and 5 months?
No. You just said how much? 7 point what trillion?
4.3.
No, that is bullshit.
Sir, it's on the screen. Everyone can read it. Okay. President Biden, in his first 3 years and 5 months in office, approved $4.3 trillion of new 10-year borrowing.
approved. See, this is not. See, you're twisting things.
All
Okay,
debt
listen to
borrowing
what I'm
is
saying.
approved by the president.
During
Are you saying there's
President
some
Trump's
he didn't
full
approve?
Term, hold on, listen. During President Trump's full term, 2017 to 2021, the national debt increased by approximately 7.8 trillion.
Hold on,
So
stop
the
real
national
quick.
debt.
Do you know how national debt
increased.
works? It sounds like you don't know how national debt works.
I know how national debt works.
Okay, when a president approves national debt, how far does that national debt extend?
It can extend forever.
No, it extends for generally 10 years. Okay? When presidents approve funding, it extends the national debt for 10 years. So if a president right now, right, like Donald Trump extends debt right now, he will extend debt over the next 10 years. So whoever's elected next time, yes, the debt will still be extending, but that was approved debt from the Trump administration. That's no different from right now. Trump is dealing with is working in a time frame under Biden's approved debt, and he's also working under approved debt from his first term because it goes over 10 years. Well, how we judge the amount of debt based off a president is how much debt they approve within their term. Okay, Donald Trump approved over 10 years, $8.4 trillion worth of debt. Okay, that's how much he approved. It's called raising the debt ceiling. Okay, that's how much he approved. He stamped, put his signature, said, over the next 10 years, the United States will raise the debt across the board by $8.4 trillion. Okay, over Biden's first 3 years and 5 months, right, $4.3 trillion, he approved over 10 years. Approximately half, a little more than half, approximately half. Okay, and I believe by the end it got a little closer to 5 trillion, still 3 trillion less. And right now, the big beautiful bill with the budget proposal in it under the Trump administration is looking to add $4 trillion more in debt over the next 10 years. That's what it's trying to do. Okay, so when we talk about a president and approved debt, we're talking about the debt that he puts his signature on. Not the debt that the last guy did or the guy before that, the debt that the president put his signature on. And Donald Trump approved more national debt to the United States than any other president in American history.
Okay, and so let's also, let's be fair here and let's be honest.
Shaylu, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. For the love of your show. Thank you so much.
Like I said, let's be fair and honest here. Okay. I would hazard to guess, I haven't done the research, I'm just being honest. I would hazard to guess that the vast majority of that approved debt probably happened around 2019, 2020.
Not the vast majority, approximately half of it was COVID.
Okay. So half of it was in response to this, what everybody told us was going to be this potentially world-ending, virus that was going to decimate us all,
Sir, that number was already in the stats I told you. Sir, listen to the stat. Listen to the stat I tell you. President Trump approved $8.4 trillion of a new 10-year borrowing during his full term in office, or $4.8 trillion, excluding the CARES Act and COVID relief. Okay, so if you take out COVID and you take out the CARES Act, right, which was COVID relief, both of them, right, he added $4.8 trillion.
So 4.8 trillion.
Okay,
right?
now wait. Biden in his first years approved 4.3 trillion in 10-year borrowing, or 2.2 trillion excluding the American Rescue Plan, which was President Biden's COVID relief funding. So if you take out COVID relief funding for each of them, okay, then it's 4.8 trillion and 2.2 trillion, which then again, Joe Biden was less than half of the spending than Donald Trump was.
Right, because Donald Trump basically handed him like, hey, you don't have to do as much because I fucking, I already did it.
Sir, we took out that part.
No, you're not. We're hearing what I'm saying.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. Okay? Donald Trump spent 4.8 trillion without COVID. Biden spent 2.2 trillion without COVID. Okay? What Donald Trump did for that had nothing to do with anything. Okay? So again, I don't understand how from a fiscal standpoint you can say you voted for Donald Trump when literally on a fiscal standpoint, Donald Trump has been our worst president in the history of the United States.
Okay, when you say the history of the United States, okay, like I said, let's be honest here. When we're talking about this level of money, right? It's the next president, okay, is going to be the worst, whatever, right, in the history, because the amount of money being bandied about is consistently getting more and more and more.
Sir, who came after who? Did Trump come after Biden? Or, well, I guess technically Trump came before and after Biden. But let's talk about full terms. Trump came, and then Biden came into presidency, and Biden spent less than Trump. So therefore, if your theory was correct, then Biden would have had to have added more debt than Trump because he came after Donald Trump. But that's not what happened. Okay? And Trump, who apparently is sitting here telling all of the American people that he is somehow better financially for us and is saving us all this money, is adding over $4 trillion to our national debt. That was the reason why the Republicans, literally the Republicans, Democrats don't even have a vote on this big, beautiful bill. And the Republicans were only able to pass the big, beautiful bill on the second time, doing an overnight vote at midnight with only Republicans voting, because so many Republicans went against the bill because it added so much more debt to our national debt.
Actually, only 2 Republicans went against the bill. And one of them was Massey, which is not surprising considering, let's be honest, Massey is pretty much a libertarian in Republican clothing.
The second time. That was the second time.
So you're saying that Massey, I didn't see so you're saying Massey voted with it the first time?
No, I mean that there was more Republicans that went against the first time. That's why it didn't pass.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, if you listen to the Republicans and the reasoning for why they're not voting for it, it's because of the increase in debt. Well, that's one of the reasons. SALT's another one, and some states actually care about, our veterans actually, having benefits and stuff like that, or, Medicaid being ripped away, all of those sort of things. But at the end of the day, it passed 215 to 214 again because the Republicans couldn't agree.
Well, it's also because, like you said, Massey, and then the other one, I don't know him, but I know Massey's a huge debt hawk. And then a couple of Republicans actually didn't vote because they fell asleep. But, let's also go against with your, ripping Medicare away, from people and, things of that nature.
I said Medicaid, not Medicare, but what's up?
Medicaid. With that whole situation, Medicaid, Medicare, all of these things are supposed to be only for American citizens. Okay? And, I don't, honestly, I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a cold-hearted bastard. If somebody is not an American citizen, they don't deserve to, Medicaid, Medicare, anything that is supported by United States taxpayers.
Yeah, undocumented migrants especially aren't eligible for any of these social safety nets.
Except for they do get on them, though.
Except for they don't.
They do, though, by using stolen...
Except for they don't.
using stolen stolen Social Security numbers.
Well, if you want to make that note, then so do American citizens, because we do know that there's a percentage of people on Medicare and Medicaid that use stolen Social Security numbers, and those people are American citizens who just don't qualify.
Why would
every single system that has ever been invented ever is going to have a certain level of fraud in it, period. No matter what the system is, okay? But saying that we shouldn't have that system, because of a certain level of fraud that is always going to exist in every single system. I mean, really, at that case, we shouldn't have a government. We shouldn't have a police force. We shouldn't have a fire department. We shouldn't have a freaking road service.
Should not be allowed to be used by illegal immigrants.
It's not.
So he's basically trying to make sure that that does not happen.
Sir, cutting $880 billion from Medicaid is doing zero things to stopping freaking undocumented migrants from using it if they're doing it illegally. And on top of that, we have zero proof that any significant amount of undocumented immigrants are actually using the Medicaid system incorrectly.
That's one. There's the qualifier. The qualifier is the one that is, I'll be honest, I cannot stand. Is, any significant numbers, it's like.
Sir, if we have a freaking million people on Medicaid in the United States, and I can't 100% prove that 5 of them weren't freaking, wrong, I can't prove that. I'm sorry. If that's what your expectation, I can't do that. Okay, I can't prove that 5, I'll even say maybe even up to like maybe 50 of that million, okay, may have been wrong. Okay, I can't prove that. Okay, but again, that level of percent is the same amount of percent that is fraudulent or bad or wrong in every single organization of everything that has ever existed ever. So what are you talking about, dude? We're literally going to gut $880 billion worth of Medicaid funds from people in the United States who desperately need it, from American citizens who desperately need it, who are not going to be able to get the funding that they need because of, 50 people out of a million?
Except for it's not 50 people.
Then prove that it's more than that.
I'll be honest, I don't have the time to, I mean, that would take, let's be honest, that would take a little bit more time than we have here.
Well, then maybe if you're going to take more time than that, then maybe you should do that before you make the claim. Because I have taken all the time in the fucking world to find any number of freaking proof that we have this overwhelming burden that is coming on the taxpayer because of fraudulent Medicaid claims by undocumented immigrants. And literally every single thing that is shown, that literally we are so good at catching that, like it's not even funny. We're really, really good at it. And anything that we're not good at catching, we can't prove was fraudulent anyway because we don't even know it was there. So therefore, you're making an unprovable claim that somehow we have this fraudulent amount of fraudulent system that is freaking hurting that. Meanwhile, American citizens who are getting destroyed, who are not going to be able to financially afford their medical bills and so that be due to the lack of Medicaid because of an $880 billion cut, are left out in the fucking dirt. American citizens are. Veterans are left out in the dirt because you're worried about a few people that may have taken advantage of the system that, again, we can't prove.
Okay. I know just from reading various articles, like I said, I don't have, I can't pull them up out of my, right off the top of my hat. Okay. That, 5 or 50 out of a million of people that use stolen Social Security cards to access benefits is not the number.
And then prove. Oh,
it is
cool.
Much.
Where'd you read that out
higher
there?
Than that. Like I said, I would have to, I would have to do research. I know that I have read articles about the pervasive issue of stolen Social Security cards being used to access benefits.
Gotcha. So and you heard some person say that stolen access cards are being used to do this,
like newspaper articles, magazine articles, white papers, things of that nature that I have read.
Yeah, various things on Twitter and Facebook.
No. Like actual news articles. I don't get my news from Facebook and Twitter and things of that nature. No. I think
Sir, do you ever,
I would hope you agree.
I heard this really cool thing. Okay, I heard this really cool thing. It was the difference between Democrats and Republicans. And I know you're not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat, but I think this really fits this conversation like very well. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
All right, awesome. And so the difference between Democrats and Republicans, okay, is that Democrats will feed 100 people to make sure one person doesn't starve. Okay, and Republicans will starve 100 people to make sure that one person that doesn't deserve it doesn't get it. And that's the argument that you're making right now. That is literally the difference between our argument right now is exactly that. I am saying, okay, that 100 people should not starve, should not have their medical benefits taken away. 99 people should not have their medical benefits taken away because one person might not deserve it. And you're saying we should take it away from those 99 people because one person might not deserve it. That is the entire difference between our argument right now.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that. But honestly, and now mind you, I want to, bring everything out in the open here. Mind you, I am disabled. I am physically disabled. I am on Medicare. And in fact, I'm on Medicare and Medicaid, because my Social Security disability is below the federal poverty line. Okay,
so you're really excited
that,
about losing your own benefits? That's wild.
No, I understand. And I still believe in what is being done simply because I think that there are things that we need to do to bring this country back from where it is going. This country has...
Sir, the roaches for raid thing is just too much for me, bro.
What's
roaches for raid thing is too much for me. You're literally like, God, I'm so happy that Trump is there to take away all the shit that freaking that I need in order to survive. Like that's, dude. Like now you got me feeling sorry for you, and it's your own damn fault.
Oh, no, don't feel sorry for me.
Because see, at the end of the day, sir, I am a humanist. Okay, I care very, 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 very much about the well-being of my fellow humans. Okay, even people like you who try their hardest to to put a stick in the wheel of their own spokes. I even care about people like you who literally freaking pew themselves in their own foot. Literally, like right in front of my face, okay? Which is sad. I shouldn't. I should, like, really what I should do, right? I should be like, you know what? You deserve every piece of this that you get. That's what I should be, okay? But I don't have that in me. I just don't, okay, sir? And the fact that you're up on my live in front of, like I said, well, I guess numbers have gone down a bit, but in front of about 1,000 people between both lives, okay? In front of about 1,000 people between both platforms, saying that you are happy that Donald Trump is gutting the things that you need to live. It's just so sad to me, man. It's
okay,
truly,
can I explain
sad.
why?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Have you ever, do you understand the concept of sacrifice?
More than you ever know, sir.
Okay. So would you agree that sacrificing your own benefit to benefit more for the rest of your country would be a noble thing to do?
What I'm sorry. Would you like to say what do you tell me is noble? Because what you're doing is not noble.
Okay, so if what's
noble?
My
you know what's noble? You know what's noble? And this is not me trying to toot my own horn, like not trying to be a dick. Or, like I'm truly not.
By all means.
Not trying to toot my own horn at all. You know what's noble?
Okay.
not
What's
being
that?
on disability and making sure that you get your disability benefits. Not getting any. I get zero social safety nets when it comes to like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, freaking unit SNAP. I don't get any of it. I get zero of those things. Okay. Yet I'm on here fighting to make sure that the people that need it get it. Okay.
And I understand
you
that, but at the same
sacrificing
time,
your benefits to ensure that other people that also deserve it have to sacrifice their benefits for what? So
No,
some brown
that's not
people
what
that
I'm
cross
doing.
the border looking for a better life might not get it. That's pretty bad. That's just. I think that's. I dare to say that just sounds more bigoted than anything else at that point, man.
And here's the thing is, I guess to be honest, I guess it would be bigoted against illegal immigrants. I'll admit that. Now, at the same time, I hope you would understand that is not racist, because I don't care if the illegal immigrants come from Mexico or Norway. I don't care either way. Doesn't matter where they're from.
That'd be xenophobic. Yeah.
What's that?
That'd be xenophobic, not racist.
Right. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess you would call it that. Considering that I don't care where they're from. It doesn't matter what color they are, what nationality.
I mean, Donald Trump is giving all those benefits to white South Africans right now. So.
Oh, come on. 59, was it?
So far. Yeah.
Okay.
But regardless, you're okay with those
millions?
You're okay with those 59, but you're not okay with the 50 that I mentioned before that might possibly be getting benefits when I was speaking about them not from South Africa, but then all of a sudden now 59 is like not really a big deal.
Here.
That's really weird.
We're talking about people who came here legally, who were granted asylum before they entered, okay, versus people who come here illegally and use stolen Social Security numbers.
You have not proven a single one of them, nor can you. See, sir, that's where the racism comes in, okay? That's where the xenophobia comes in. You can't prove that this is happening at all. You literally can't. I know that you can't because I have dug into this data very, very significantly. And while there is a small percentage of people that do steal Social Security numbers in order to get benefits, the large majority of the people that steal Social Security numbers to get benefits, again, are American citizens who are trying to double dip on those benefits. The overwhelming majority of people that do that are American citizens. And the overwhelming majority of the people that are American citizens that do that are white. Okay.
Oh.
And I have gone through that data. So the people that are stealing these things are American citizens at an overwhelming level. Okay. So the fact that you are making up this entire idea that, oh, people are coming from other countries and doing it, and that bothers you. But the second I mention South Africans, then you're like, well, those people, those are cool. There's a difference. Now we're getting into racism, and
because there's a difference between somebody coming here illegally and using stolen documents.
That
versus someone coming here legally
is not happening on any type of scale that matters.
Yeah.
Sir, you've been fear-mongered. I'm sorry. You've been fear-mongered. Okay? It happens to the best of us. It's okay. Okay? There's no shame in it. It happens to the best of us. Okay? The way that the Republican Party gets votes is that they take people, they create an enemy, okay? And then once they have that enemy, okay, they blame all the bad things that are happening in your life on that enemy. Okay? They do it over and over and over. All the way to the point. All the way to the point where somebody who's literally on Medicaid and Medicare is advocating for the stopping of Medicaid and Medicare due to a number of people that you cannot pull one data source and prove that they exist. Okay? That's how bad you've been fear-mongered. And that's okay. All right? Again, it happens to the best of us. Don't be ashamed of it. But what you can do, okay, what you can do is understand right now that you are literally supporting your own demise.
So let me ask you
and
a
you
real,
can hold
real
on,
quick
stop,
question.
because I'm about to get off the live, but I do really want to say this to you.
Okay,
because,
I just want to ask
because,
you one
because
real quick
I think
thing.
no,
You
because
talked
truly,
about the fear mongering of using a boogeyman to make me, fear, and then all that and everything. You mean kind of like the Democrats do with Trump and calling him Hitler all the time?
You mean Donald Trump just doing fascist things like Hitler and then freaking us calling him out for it?
Fascist things like Hitler.
Yeah, you mean Donald Trump literally following freaking the playbook of that person, when we literally have his freaking ex-wife stating that he kept that person's book by his bedside and read it all the time.
So
Like we have
that...
we have literal direct quotes from his ex-wife saying that they kept that person's book by his bedside and read it all the time, and then watching him do those exact things. So there's a difference between fear-mongering you, and yes, could that be somewhat of a fear-monger? Sure, why not? But here's the difference between that fear-monger and your fear-monger. I have all of the evidence to show that he's following that playbook, and you have zero evidence to show anything that you're showing. The literal vice president of the United States literally compared him to that person.
Wait, you're saying that you're saying
JD
that
Vance called him that person.
Oh, yes, back when when
so did Ron DeSantis,
Republicans...
so did Marco Rubio, so did literally half of his cabinet.
Right.
That are all Republicans.
And when they didn't know him and when they were basically listening to
before they got threatened by him or pulled into whatever, there's stuff like that. But anyways, regardless of that, I have way more proof for you that freaking Donald Trump is a lot like freaking Schmittler than you ever have of this overwhelming freaking fraud of Medicaid by undocumented migrants.
No,
That's a crazy thing for me to say, and it's actually true, which is wild. That's a crazy thing. I've never actually said those words out loud. I've never had to say those words. That's a wild thing that I just said, and yet it's still true. That's insane. But regardless of any of that, sir, I gotta make sure people eat and like all sorts of stuff in my house, because I do have people that I'm responsible for. But I do have to go for the night. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful night, sir. All right.
You as well.
All right. Bye-bye. That was a wild thing to say. And I can't believe I ever had to say that. That actually kind of almost bothered me that I had to say that. Lee, thank you so much for the Venmo. I appreciate your stream. Just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you're still here. I know that was a while. That was like an hour ago, so I'm so sorry I didn't get to it. I meant to earlier. I totally apologize. But Lee, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. And Kayla, thank you so much for the $2 Venmo. Says openly saying you don't care about people because they are a child is wild. Yeah, because they're children is wild. Absolutely, Kayla. That is 100% crazy. Y'all, thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful night. I actually go back to work tomorrow, so I will not be on till about 6:30, 7 o'clock Central Time tomorrow night. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Happy Memorial Day. I love every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for the people that were able to donate and support the live. I really appreciate you guys as I watch this entire thing build at a rate faster than I ever thought it would. So thank you guys so much. If you're on the YouTube side, please make sure you hit that subscription button before you leave. We're having a great time over here. And if you're on the if you're on the YouTube side, please hit that subscribe button. If you're on the TikTok side, please hit that follow button. This is my backup account. I won't be on my primary account back until Thursday. So I'll see you guys then. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And bye-bye. Later.